Our lesson today is rationalizing the denominator. We are going to get rid of a square root sign if we see it in the denominator. That's our plan today. So first, I want to go over with you some basics of square roots. Okay, I'm going to give you this. Square root of 4. No, not 4, because 4 reduces. I'm going to give you the square root of 6. Can you see that? Okay, the square root of 6. And I'm going to say, I want you to do something to the square root of 6 so that I will get a 6 as my answer. I want you to multiply something by it. So first, I'd like you to talk in your groups and tell people around you what you think you would do, because I just want 6 as my answer. I don't like square roots for this lesson. So go ahead and talk for a little bit. What are you going to put for the question mark? Using part of your group too. Do you guys have some answers? Okay. What are some things that you said that you could put in for red? 1. A 6. Anybody else have something they want to contribute? Okay, so let's try it. I'll do it in orange. Rad 6 times 1 equals? That's not really what I wanted. Let's try option number 2. Rad 6 times 6 equals? Huh? Rad, no, it does not equal rad 36.
6 rad 6.
6 rad 6. That's not what I wanted either. I need more options. Help me out. Rad 6? Rad 6 times rad 6? Rad 36, which becomes 6. So, you are going to multiply the square root by itself to cancel it out. Okay? And yesterday's 6th period, I lost my voice. Crazy. But now I can already tell that I'm going to lose it again. Like, something's happening. I must be talking too much. Have to become the mute teacher. Okay. So, I wrote there, multiply the square root by itself to cancel it out. That's what we're going to do a lot today. That's how we're going to get rid of a square root. Because if I want a whole number answer, just a 6... then I need to somehow cancel out this square root. And you guys just told me how. So, keep that in mind. It's on the board there. And let's do a few. Okay, so on number 1, both of the numbers are under the square root. So, I want to show you that you can change it. And you can do this. And separate them if you want to. That is a totally fine rule in radicals, square roots. To separate them, put them under one roof, take them apart, interchangeable, whatever. So now, how would I simplify this? My directions are simplify, or write in easiest form. What can reduce, if anything? 16. What does rad 16 become? 4. Okay, what about the top? What? I can't do anything to rad 3.
Rad 3 multiplied by rad 3.
Well, no. I'm okay with the way this looks right now because I just don't want a square root on the denominator. There is no square root on the denominator. I'm good. This is a perfect answer. You don't need to go any further than this. But you cannot have a square root on the denominator. You could have it up on top, sure, no problem. But on the denominator, nope, not at all. Okay? Example 2. There's actually 2 ways to do it. The first way, is to just reduce as you see it. So let's reduce 20 over 64. Reduce that fraction underneath the square root. What number goes into both? 20 over 64, reduce the fraction. 4th grade, guys, come on. What are you choosing to reduce it by?
4.
Let's reduce by 4. Okay, what are you going to get?
5 over 8.
18.
How many times is 4 going to 64?
Whoa, wait, oh no, sorry. 21.
Not 21.
So you do this on the side of your paper.
16.
Never mind.
Okay? So, I can reduce first, and I can just keep going. And here's my keep going. Put it apart. Because if you notice, 16 is a perfect square. What am I going to get as my answer now?
5.
Rad 5, say it right, over 4. You're done. Okay, second option.
9.
And not one of them is better or worse. It's honestly personal preference. The second option is to just separate them and just do the math. So I separated them. What is the square root of 20 broken down? Break it down.
5 times 4.
Okay, what is that reduced down to?
2.
What is the square root of 64? Because that's a perfect square.
8.
Okay. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. I'm not going to touch the rad 5, but the 2 over 8, they're both on the outside of square root. I can do that. What is 2 over 8? Simplified. Did I get the same answer? Okay. So, if you see that something is a square root right away, like the 64, square root, you could break it down and maybe you'd like to do option 2 first. But if it's not something that's easily broken down, maybe you'd like to do this method. Doesn't matter. So now I'm going to offer up to you example 3. What do you want to do for example 3?
Break it up.
Left side is reduce, right side is like break it up, I guess we'll call it. The breaking it up is actually easier because they're both perfect squares. What's the square root of 9?
3.
What's the square root of 81?
9.
Almost done. Reduce the fraction. You're done. Okay. On example 4, does anything look easy to break down? I could make them one big one. Yeah, I can go back and put them all under one roof. 3 is the only number. Yeah, 3? Okay. Okay. Now I need to put them back separate. Rad 7 over rad 6. Okay, now we actually get to do the title of the lesson. Rationalize the denominator. Get rid of the square root on the bottom. I'm going to multiply the square root by itself to cancel it out. So let's write okay. I need to multiply this by something so that I get a 6 in the denominator. I do not want a square root on the bottom. So what should I multiply the bottom by to get just a 6? Okay. Do you remember in equations back in September or August, I said, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side of the equation. Remember that? What about when you are doing fractions? And I'm like, how do I make 2/5 into something that has a 10? What do I do to the 5? So whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top? So I multiplied the fraction by 2 over 2. What does 2 over 2 reduce to? 2 over 2 is also the same thing as a 1. So if I multiply anything by 1, then I can basically change it. That means that my now missing part, right here, guys, right here, what am I going to put here so that this whole thing is a 1?
Brad 6.
Rad 6. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Because this essentially is like a 1. Right? I can multiply anything by 1. What's 79 times 1? Okay, what's this pencil times 1? Anything times 1. So now, let's do the math. Denominator, rad 6 times rad 6 equals our 6. Perfect, we got it. Let's do the top. What is rad 7 times rad 6? Can I break that down? Here's a big mistake. People try and divide 6 into 42. This is not going to happen. They're not both under square root. They're not like terms. You cannot do anything more to this. You are done with number 3. Or example 4. This is your answer. So the whole point is, whatever you multiply the bottom by, you have to multiply the top by. Same number over itself. So example 5. Rad 16 over rad 3. Can I reduce anything right now first? What? 16 is a 4 for rad 3. Okay, so far so good. But now I have a radical on the denominator. I don't like it. Ladies, you're all on mute. Girls, stop talking. Gentlemen, what do I multiply by? Because I want eventually to get rid of my square root at the bottom. Tell me I need more than that. Like what do I multiply? What goes right here? This whole thing. Rad 3 on the bottom and the top. Because that's like 1. And I can multiply anything times 1. So now do the math. Denominator. Rad 3 times rad 3 equals plain old 3. Top. What is 4 times rad 3?
4 rad 3.
Look at my numbers outside of the square root. Can I simplify 4 and 3? Like, is that a fraction I can reduce? No. Well, look, they're both 3s. Oh, what can I do there? Nothing. Just trying to trick you. Okay, let's try number 6. What are you going to multiply that whole thing by? Say it the right way, people. Rad 2 over rad 2. What's my denominator become?
2 rad 2 over 2.
Okay, take a break, Anthony. I mean, you guys know when to stop volunteering too much. Top becomes what? Can I reduce anything? No, don't get fooled by those 2s and think that, oh, 2 over 2. No. Okay, so, perfect. We're going to stop at 6 for today because your homework, which I really just want you to do right now, is 7 through 12. So turn the page and only do 7 through 12. So let's get started on that.